This heavy metal cylinder, weighing about 10 lbs, was found on the side of a railroad track. It has a broken side and a hole through it on the opposite side. What is this substantial piece of railway hardware? This heavy steel object is not a cylinder, but likely a fragment of a railroad tie plate that has been extremely worn or damaged, giving it a somewhat rounded appearance. A tie plate is a thick iron or steel plate used to secure the rail to the wooden railroad tie, sleeper. The rail sits on the plate, and spikes are driven through holes in the plate into the tie. This distributes the load from the rail over a wider area of the tie and holds the rail to the correct gauge. This piece, with its hole for a spike and its extreme wear, is a discarded fragment of this essential track component. Found by a creek after a flood, this is a black, corroded metal and plastic barrel-like object with tape around the center. What is this common component from a classic toy? This barrel-like object looks like the air piston and compression chamber mechanism from a BB gun, specifically one like the classic Daisy Red Ryder. The Red Ryder is a spring piston lever-action BB gun that has been popular for generations. The mechanism consists of a piston inside a chamber. When the lever is cocked, it compresses a powerful spring and draws the piston back. Pulling the trigger releases the spring, which drives the piston forward, rapidly compressing the air in the chamber and propelling the BB out of the barrel. This found object is the core engine of that iconic air rifle. This metal instrument has a probe of some kind on rotating scales and is connected by a twisted pair cable to a jack. The finder collects measuring equipment, but is intrigued by this particular item found on an auction site. What is this precision instrument? This instrument looks like an azimuth sight or an azimuth circle, a navigational tool used on ships to take bearings of celestial objects, like the sun or stars, or terrestrial landmarks. The sight is placed on top of a compass or a gyrocompass repeater. The user would look through the sight and align it with an object to determine its azimuth, its direction in degrees from north. The rotating scales allow for precise angle measurements. The piece in the center with a probe and cable might contain a light sensor or photodiode, possibly to help with precisely aiming it at a bright object like the sun. These poles with a black cylinder on top are seen throughout the botanic gardens. There are other obvious sprinklers elsewhere, but the purpose of these is unclear. Are they backup sprinklers or some kind of sensor? These are gear-driven rotary sprinkler heads. The poles they are mounted on are called risers, which are used to elevate the sprinkler head above surrounding plants and shrubs to ensure the water spray is not obstructed. The black cylinder on top is the sprinkler head itself. Inside is a gear-driven mechanism, powered by the flow of water, that causes the nozzle to rotate slowly and systematically, distributing water over a large circular or part-circle area. These are very common for watering large lawns and garden beds, and the risers are essential in a botanic garden setting with dense plantings. This red bead, with black triangle etchings, was found on the shore of the Willamette River in Portland, OR. It's not plastic, is see-through when held to light, and the bead hole goes all the way through. It's got teardrop shapes, as well as triangles etched into it. What is this unique and beautiful bead? Thanks to some diligent research and help from the RR Sea Glass community, this has been identified as a 1920s Egyptian Revival Art Deco glass bead. At some point, it was exposed to intense heat, likely in a fire, causing it to deform and for sand to become embedded in its cracks, a state often called bonfire glass. After that, years of being tumbled in the river's rocks and waves gave it a smooth, frosty appearance, similar to sea glass. It's a fascinating artifact that tells a multi-stage story, crafted in the Art Deco era, transformed by fire, and then shaped by nature before being discovered. If you love uncovering strange and mysterious objects, hit like and subscribe. Your support genuinely helps YouTube's algorithm find more curious explorers like you. Thank you for helping us grow. Stay curious. 2 items are presented. One is a glazed pot with abnormal cutouts around the rim. The other is a small, decorated, solid metal ovular object, too small for a wrist, but with protrusions for a chain. What are they? The combination of these two items suggests they are a hanging flower pot and its decorative hook or hanger. The glazed pot, with its unusual cutouts in the rim, is a planter. The small holes and cutouts are the attachment points for the chains or ropes used to suspend it. The decorated solid metal ovular object is the hook or the rope organizer that would be hung from a ceiling or bracket. The multiple chains from the pot would connect to this central piece, which would then hang from the main hook. It's a matching set for displaying a hanging plant. This 1-inch white rubberized plastic object with wires was found wrapped around the auger in a refrigerator ice maker. It has KL on the end. A separate piece of rubber tubing was also found wrapped around the auger. The finder thinks it might be a temperature sensor. Is this correct? The finder's thought is correct. This object is a thermistor, which is a type of resistor whose resistance changes significantly with temperature. In a refrigerator, thermistors are used as temperature sensors to monitor and control the temperature in the freezer and fresh food compartments, as well as in the ice maker. This particular thermistor would sense the temperature of the ice maker mold or the ice bin to signal when the ice is frozen and ready to be harvested, or when the bin is full. It likely became dislodged from its proper mounting position and got caught in the ice maker's auger mechanism. The finder's father noticed his sump pump had stopped working. When they went to clean it, they found a mostly clear gelatinous substance at the bottom and all inside the pump. It is extremely good at holding water and dries into small crystals when squeezed. What is this mysterious gel? This gelatinous substance is almost certainly the absorbent gel from the inside of a disposable diaper. The core of modern diapers contains a superabsorbent polymer, SAP, typically sodium polyacrylate, which can absorb hundreds of times its own weight in liquid, turning into a clear gel. If a diaper was accidentally dropped into the sump pit, or if there was a sewage backup involving a flushed diaper, the outer layers could have disintegrated, releasing this superabsorbent gel. The gel would quickly soak up the water in the pit and expand, clogging the sump pump's intake and causing it to fail. This rectangular thing is above a bathroom sink. It does not seem to be magnetic and measures 3.5 cm by 11.5 cm. If it's angled on the top, what is it for? If this rectangular strip, mounted to the wall, has an angled top edge, typically a 45-degree bevel, it is identified as a French cleat. A French cleat is a very strong and simple way to hang heavy items like large mirrors, heavy picture frames, or wall cabinets. The system uses two interlocking beveled strips. One is attached to the wall, like the one seen, and the other is attached to the back of the item to be hung. The item is then simply lifted and lowered onto the wall cleat, with the two beveled edges interlocking securely under gravity. It provides a very stable and hidden mounting system. This old bottle cap-like object has some weight to it and a gold color underneath the rust. It was found in the dirt at an abandoned school in western PA, built in 1839 and closed in 2005. It doesn't match any known milk or bottle caps. What could it be? This object looks like the bottom foot or glide from a school chair leg, specifically a self-leveling foot. School furniture, designed to be durable and functional, often had metal legs capped with these types of feet. The cap part would fit over the bottom of the tubular chair leg, and the slightly domed or swiveling base would help the chair sit flat on uneven floors and protect the floor surface from being scratched. The gold color could be from a brass component in the swivel mechanism. Its discovery at an old school is a perfect contextual clue. This metal ring is made out of 8 thin interconnected rings. The finder asks what it's called and if it's possible to reassemble after it has come apart. This is called a rolling ring or a puzzle ring. It's a type of finger ring that consists of multiple interconnected, often identical, bands that are designed to fold together to form a single, unified ring. It is indeed possible to reassemble it, but it's a puzzle. There is a specific sequence in which the bands must be layered and folded over each other to get them to fit together correctly. It can be quite tricky, but there are many videos and diagrams online that show how to solve different types of puzzle rings. When assembled, you can often roll it onto your finger. Found mounted on the wall in an older UK building, this vintage unit has a beige fabric front, a red indicator light, and a large rotary dial. A blue Silavent badge is on the corner. The finder is unsure if it's a fan, a heater, or both. What is this 1960s-70s appliance? This Silavent unit is an electric heater, specifically a fan-forced heater. The rotary dial would control the temperature or fan speed, the grill would be where the hot air is blown out, and the red light would indicate when the heating element was on. Silavent was a brand known for ventilation and heating products in the UK. The important warning from the commenter is that appliances of this age, 1960s-70s, often used asbestos as a heat-insulating material inside. Therefore, it should be handled with extreme caution and not disturbed or disassembled, as asbestos fibers are a serious health hazard. This soft metal hook, with a 3.5-inch center-to-center measurement, comes from a box of them found in Arizona, USA. What are these simple paired hooks used for? These look like the hooks used to hang signs and displays from the T-bar grid of a suspended or drop ceiling, commonly found in retail shops, grocery stores, and offices. The system typically uses two parts. One clip attaches to the T-bar of the ceiling grid, and another clip holds the sign. These two parts are connected by a wire or string. These specific hooks could be part of that system, or a simpler one-piece design that twists onto the ceiling grid and then provides a hook for hanging lightweight signage, decorations, or mobiles. This metallic piece is tied to the beams of a 40-year-old house in South America. It is around 20 cm long and 5 cm wide. What is this sturdy beam-mounted fixture for? This looks like the hanging hardware for a pulley, but with the pulley wheel itself missing. This sturdy metal bracket would be securely bolted to a ceiling beam or joist. A pulley wheel would have been mounted on the axle pin between the two side plates of the bracket. A rope would then be run over this pulley. This setup could have been used for various purposes, such as hoisting heavy items for storage in an attic or loft, lifting goods in a workshop, or as part of a system for hanging a clothesline, a lamp, or even a child's swing. This glass, plastic, and possibly leather or rubber base, about 7 inches long and lightweight, was found in a graveyard in South Jersey, near the city center. What could it be? Despite its unusual discovery location, this object is identified as looking like the handle of a vegetable peeler, but with the metal blade missing. Many modern vegetable peelers have ergonomically designed handles made of plastic with rubber or leather-like grips for comfort. The metal peeling blade is often a separate component that is inserted into the head of the handle. It's possible for this blade to break off or be removed, leaving only the handle. How it ended up in a graveyard is a complete mystery, but its form is that of a common kitchen tool. This all-brass capped tube, 120 mm by 54 mm, has swing-out arms in each cap insert. The finder thought it might be a military storage tube for a fuse, but the swing-out arms are stumping them. What is it? This looks like a high-amperage renewable fuse. Renewable fuses are an older type of fuse, where the fuse element, the thin piece of metal that melts and breaks the circuit during an overcurrent event, can be replaced, allowing the main body of the fuse to be reused. The brass tube is the main housing. The swing-out arms on the end caps would be the blade contacts that plug into the fuse holder. Inside the tube would have been a replaceable fuse link. The all-brass construction might be for high current capacity and heat dissipation, though the commenter notes this is somewhat unusual. This is a large, heavy metal machine, about 3x3 feet, with a wheel that raises and lowers plates by an inch. It has temperature and timer controls, plugs into 110V, and has a warning label that it gets hot. A hand-scratched plate says, "Type No 2525. What is this machine? This machine is identified as a dry tack 2525 heat press. A heat press is a machine used to imprint a design or graphic onto a substrate, like a t-shirt, using heat and pressure for a preset period of time. This particular model is likely a dry mount press, used in picture framing and graphic arts, for permanently bonding artwork, photos, or laminates to a substrate, like foam board, using heat-activated adhesive tissue. The wheel would control the pressure, and the temperature and timer controls allow for precise application settings required for different materials. This wooden item, about 13 inches long, was found among antique kitchen items. One end is circular, and the other has what looks like a signature or number. What is this traditional kitchen utensil? This wooden stick looks like a spurtle. A spurtle is a traditional Scottish kitchen tool, dating back to the 15th century, that is used for stirring porridge, oatmeal, soups, and stews. Its rod-like shape is designed to prevent lumps from forming while stirring, which can happen with the broader surface of a spoon. The slightly shaped top end, sometimes with a thistle or other design, serves as a handle. The signature suggests it might be a handcrafted piece. They are still popular today among porridge enthusiasts. These black plastic clips, marked F126841, are about 3/8 2 inches. They were found as a pack of 4. What are they for? These black plastic clips are the handles and locks used in the packaging for large, heavy electronic items, most commonly flat-screen TVs. When you buy a new TV, the large cardboard box is often held together by several of these plastic clips inserted into slots in the cardboard. They serve two purposes. They securely lock the top part of the box to the bottom part, and they also function as handles, making it easier to lift and carry the large, awkward box. After unpacking the TV, these are often discarded. This Victorian, egg-shaped bivalve, two-part hinged thingy looks like it has a bologna or mother of pearl on a bronze body with a ceramic base. Inside is a curious structure. A small, nail-sized hole is in the top. Guesses like ring holder seem wrong. What is this ornate object? This is identified as an antique mother-of-pearl perfume casket, specifically one designed with double perfume bottle holders. The egg-shaped container, often made with ornate materials like bronze and inlaid mother-of-pearl, would open up to reveal a fitted interior. The curious structure in the middle is the holder, designed to securely cradle 2 tiny glass perfume or scent bottles. The small hole at the top might have been for a chain or a small finial. These were exquisite and luxurious personal items for a lady's vanity or dressing table in the Victorian era. Found on an old property in Vermont, these lightweight, black-gray extruded items are around 8 inches long and 1 inch in diameter. They make marks on paper towels when rubbed. The finder wonders if they might be old electric fence insulators. What are these numerous rods? These objects are old battery cores made from carbon. In older dry cell batteries, particularly large ones like those used for farm radios, railroad signals, or early telephone systems, the central positive electrode was a solid rod of carbon. After the zinc casing of the battery corroded away over many years of being discarded in the ground, this much more inert and durable carbon rod would be all that remained. Their size, shape, and the fact they make a black mark, like graphite, another form of carbon, are all consistent with this identification. Found in a school shop classroom, this has a black frame with a cage-like grate and 2 window door parts. The yellow frame part has glass and is marked with the company name Toolmark Co. What is this piece of safety equipment? From the gray material stuck to it and its shape, this is assumed to be the safety guarding from a pug mill used for clay in a ceramics class. A pug mill is a machine that mixes and extrudes clay to remove air bubbles and make it consistent. It has a powerful auger inside, which is extremely dangerous. This guard, made by Toolmark, a company that makes safety equipment for schools, would be placed over the hopper to prevent students from reaching into the machine. The commenter tragically recalls a student at another school losing an arm in a similar machine, highlighting the critical importance of such guards. This copper material, a little smaller than a penny, was found in Lincolnton, NC, US. It has no other obvious markings. What is this small electrical component? This is part of a reusable or renewable fuse, a type that is now considered obsolete and often illegal in modern electrical codes. In these old fuses, when the fusible link inside blew due to an overcurrent, the user could unscrew the end cap, remove the blown link, and install a new, inexpensive fuse link, allowing the main fuse body to be reused. This small copper disc is likely one of the contact points or a component from inside such a fuse. They were common in industrial settings and older residential fuse boxes, but were phased out due to safety concerns. This copper thing was found inside a work car. It's nearly the size of a piece of ammunition, but the finder is pretty sure it's not. What is this small, precisely made copper and plastic component? This small copper object looks like a water stop valve, specifically the type used in the supply line for a washing machine or a similar appliance. These small valves, often made of brass or copper, are installed between the main plumbing pipe and the flexible hose that connects to the appliance. They contain an internal mechanism, often a small ball valve or a spring-loaded check valve, designed to shut off the water flow automatically in case of a sudden pressure drop, which would happen if the hose bursts. This helps to prevent major flooding. This metal cooking device has silicone knobs on it. It's been in a box in the kitchen for a while, its purpose unknown. What is this specialized piece of bakeware? This is the Debbie Meyer Cupcake Genius Pan. It's a non-stick baking pan designed for making cupcakes or muffins that are filled while they are baking. The pan has posts in the center of each cup. You place a standard cupcake liner around the post, fill it with batter, and then place a second, smaller liner, or a well, over the post on top of the batter. The silicone knobs are the handles for this insert. As the cupcake bakes, it rises up around this well. After baking, you remove the insert, leaving a perfect cavity in the center of the cupcake, ready to be filled with frosting, fruit, or any other filling. Found at a thrift store, this item is some sort of jar with iron wrought Mickey Mouse heads on it. Research has turned up nothing about it. What is this Disney-themed decorative item? This jar with wrought iron Mickey Mouse heads is a tea light candle holder. The glass jar or container would hold a small, standard tea light candle. The decorative wrought iron framework, featuring the iconic Mickey Mouse head silhouette, serves as a stylish and themed holder for the glass. When the candle is lit, it would create a pleasant ambience, with the light shining through the glass and casting shadows from the Mickey Mouse shapes. It's a piece of Disney-themed home decor, likely sold in Disney parks or stores at some point. Found in a jewelry kit, these are needle-like items with an eye thing at the end. They are about 1.2 inches long and come in various sizes and metals. What are these fundamental jewelry-making components? These are called head pins, a basic and essential component in jewelry making. They are thin pieces of wire with a preformed head or stopper at one end, which can be a flat circle, a small ball, or a decorative shape. You thread beads onto the pin. The head at the bottom prevents the beads from sliding off. Once the beads are on, you use jewelry pliers to bend the wire at the top and create a small loop, or to wrap the wire decoratively. This finished beaded component can then be attached to ear wires, chains, or other findings to create earrings, pendants, or charms. This is a small, pear-shaped gold metal piece, about 1 centimeters tall. The finder has been told the Japanese characters on it mean, "Fortune has changed for the better," and "victory." What is this small charm representing? This small figurine is in the shape of a gunbai, which is a type of Japanese war fan, historically used by samurai commanders to communicate signals on the battlefield. The text on it, shun, translates loosely to luck at winning or victory fortune. This tiny gunbai is an omamori, which is a Japanese amulet or charm sold at Shinto shrines and Buddhist temples, meant to provide good luck or protection. It likely came from a larger doll, a figurine, or was packaged with an omikuji, the paper fortune, at a shrine, serving as a small, tangible symbol of the wish for victory and good fortune. This unusual rigid object, about 5 inches long, was found washed up on a beach in Cornwall. The surround is a discolored white plastic, and the inner part is a rusted cylindrical metal rod. It has no moving parts. What is this piece of deteriorated cutlery? This is what's left of a knife or other utensil with a faux bone handle. In the mid-20th century, many inexpensive kitchen knives, forks, and spoons were made with handles of a hard, white plastic, designed to imitate the look of traditional bone or ivory handles. The metal part of the utensil, called the tang, extends into this handle. Over many years of being tumbled in the sea, the blade has completely rusted and broken away, and the plastic handle has been worn down and discolored, exposing the rusted cylindrical tang that once held the blade in place. If you love uncovering strange and mysterious objects, hit that like button and subscribe. Stay curious. More finds coming soon.